Russian property in Warsaw to be given to Ukrainians, says Mayor.
Here's a summary of the article.
A Russian-owned real estate complex in Warsaw will be given to Ukrainian war refugees, the city's mayor said on Monday, after it was confiscated. Rafał Trzaskowski told reporters that the site, popularly dubbed Spiewil, was officially appropriated by the city of Warsaw from its Russian owners on Monday morning. "We are taking Spiewil over, we want to give it to our Ukrainian guests," Trzaskowski said at the site. Ria Deshtia, Ukraine's ambassador to Poland, told PAP the complex may be used for a school or a Ukrainian culture center. The complex, which in the communist era housed Russian embassy staff, contains over 100 flats. Warsaw authorities have said the flats may be given to Ukrainian families with children who have lost their homes due to Russia's invasion of their country.
This post received a score of 16,000, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
It was disputed if it belonged to Russia. Polish courts said no several years ago, but there was no effort made to evict them. Now with the attack on Ukraine, Polish Foreign Ministry no longer had any qualms about getting rid of them. Fun fact: this place was commonly known as Szpiegłowo, roughly translates to Spiewil.
We have one here, called Trump Tower.
I still don't get how the Mueller investigation didn't fucking leap on this shit. The Russian mob in New York all lived in Trump Tower and one of his other buildings, for decades through the 90s, and 10s, it's like public knowledge. FBI had multiple known wiretaps on Trump Tower apartments for Russian mob stings going back to the 80s. Instead we get convoluted red string investigations trying to connect Trump to Putin directly, when instead you can connect him to the NY Russian mob AB. They literally live in his house. I always assumed that was the redacted parts handed over to the SDNY for state prosecution so he couldn't recuse himself, as POTUS, of a federal prosecution. That made sense at the time.
Mueller's next step was to follow the money. He was explicitly told not to follow the money. I wonder why?
It's demented to me that every investigation doesn't begin with a financial analysis. Like if the Golden State Killer was getting $100K after every kill, that changes the case significantly. Start with the money.
Da money. Fat Tony.
Funny fact. We still call that part of town Spiegłowo, Spiewil winking face.
You can rename it Old Spiewil.
Someone made a mural on the building of a Polish and Ukrainian flag. Lol. Check the 360 camera.
Was looking for pictures and this is perfect. Thank you.
This is a nice start towards the multi-billion-dollar reparations that the Russians owe Ukraine for their war and destruction.
Given Russia's long history with Poland, it wouldn't shock me if the Poles keep some of it, too.
I have an old friend who seats in the Warsaw City Council and she claims that the condominium will be, in major part, used to house Ukrainian war refugees, but it will also be used as council housing for poor Poles, provided there were some apartments left. What is more, those condominiums have some huge apartments, with 100 square meters or bigger.
A lot of those old buildings have large units. I rented a 100 square meters apartment in Warsaw near Powyle at one point. They're surprisingly common compared to apartment sizes in Canada.
Don't remind me. I'm blessed as fuck that my partner knew a landlord, manager who got us a decent deal on a small apartment. It's tiny, we hate it, but it's $800 a month in 2022 in a relatively pricey college town. Makes it a bit easier for us to save with such a lot monthly housing cost.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.